हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I'm excited to help.
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जनाय यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जनाय जमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
Hare Krishna. I'll quickly introduce Harivamsa Prabhu. Harivamsa Prabhu, Dr. Himanshu Asnani.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे अनर्पितचरीं चिरात् करुणयावतीर्ण कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतोज्ज्वलरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियम् हरिः पुरटसुन्दरद्युतिकदम्बसन्दीपितः सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्फुरतु वः शचीनन्दनः हन्ताय मद्रिरबला हरिदासवर्यो यद्रामकृष्णचरण स्पर्शप्रमोदः मानं तनोति सह गोगणयोस्तयोर्यत् पानीयसूयवसकन्दर कन्दमूलैः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming. My first of all gratitude to His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj and Mother Nirukula for allowing me to serve this wonderful community, and I consider my greatest fortune that I was a part of this, and I still consider to be a part of this. My gratitude to the management here for orchestrating this service for this insignificant soul, and thanks to His Grace Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu and Manjari Gopika Mataji for allowing me here. Thanks to all of you also. Somewhere some fireworks are going on. You decided to choose the fireworks which will go on here. So thank you for making this choice. And I seek blessings of all of you and all the acharyas present in embodied form, unembodied form here, so that we can discuss something about the land which is dear to everyone and know about those who consider this land dear to them more than their hearts. With this prayer, we would like to begin. Hare Krishna. In some cultures and traditions, the nature of Lord is transcendent. What? Transcendent. He's up there somewhere. He created this world and just forgot about us. You deal with yourself, your prapanch. He's happy up there. This is the transcendent Lord who is up there somewhere. That's half the reality. Some traditions consider that Lord is transcendent, may or may not be, but he's immanent. What? Immanent, which means he's there in the heart of everybody. Well, our Lord is also transcendent in the spiritual world. He is immanent also. But we use a particular term to describe about Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a technical shabd, but it's important. Abhinna, abhinna, nimitta, upadana, karana. Karana means cause. Upadan means matter, material. Nimitta means instrument. And abhin, it's non-different. Now, suppose we build the home here. Here, I don't know how it happens because I see wooden things making the home so quickly. But in India, it takes time. We have rocks or stones. And the most important ingredient, anybody knows? Cement. Right? So what you do, you mix something in the cement and put some stones also. So it becomes some kind of, it's called masala. Literally, if you go near the construction site, they'll say masala. So it's literally masala. And the masala goes on to build the home. But alone masala will not do. You need one more person. He's called the mason, right? Mason is the one who will take the khurpi, take the masala and do champi. So we need both masala and mason. In our philosophy, mason is the nimitta karan, who makes the things. Masala is the upadan karan, from which the thing is made. But both are energies of. That's why in Vedant, in the ultimate conclusion of Vedas, Krishna is called to be Abhinna Nimitta Upadan Karan. He is the efficient cause and the material cause. But wait, in the land of Vrindavan, we go even further. So he's not only transcendent, he's not only immanent, he's not only masala and mason, he is quite interested Lord. What? He's quite interested Lord. He's interested in our personal lives because he is personal Lord. Isn't it? There was a person who said, Lord, always walk with me when I am in trouble. Lord said, okay, done. Roger that. Then there was a swamp of struggle in one's life. So earlier he was seeing two footprints, one of the Lord, one of himself. And he walked through that swamp of struggle of life, came out of the struggle, looked back. Somehow he managed through. He looked back and there was only one set of footprints. So he called up the Lord. What was that? Roger that. I didn't see you. He said, dude, those are not your footprints, but my footprints. I was carrying you. So he is interested, Lord. Beyond transcendent, beyond immanent, beyond masala and mason, he is interested. Oh, wait a minute. There is something more in Vraj. He is impressionable. What? Bhagavatam says, ajitaha jitaha. One which is not conquerable but is conquered. And isn't that our only respite? In Hindi we say, akela chana bhaad nahi phod sakta. But bhaad, I don't know what does it mean, but Take a big pile of thing, and take a chana, chickpea. Start throwing. Nothing happens. We are like akela chana. What can we do? We can only desire and follow the niyama properly. Vaisheshika Prabhu says, right? Hit the pavement and then the books will go. We can do that, hit the pavement. But then if the Lord, who is independent or swarat, right? Can we say by following exactly the rules, the Lord will do this way or that way? No. Then better he not be the Lord, because then our rules will be lording over the Lord. So he won't be the Lord. But he is not only independent as well as, what was the fifth thing? Impressionable. He can get influenced. He gets influenced. And all our acharyas have told us that continue doing this, ajitaha will be jitaha. Vishwanath Chakri Thakur, the one and only Vishwanath Chakri Thakur, who writes a lot of commentaries, has written a very small booklet called Raga Vartma Chandrika, the explanation of the moonlight of the path of love. In this, he raises this question: is Krishna really interested in us? So he says, Nahanim naglanim, nahanim naglanim, na nija griha krityam, na nija griha krityam, vyasanitam. There's no hani. He doesn't lose anything. No glani. Glani means, Hindi and Sanskrit, there are often words are different. Glani in Hindi means guilt, correct? But in Sanskrit it means thakavat, means little tired, lethargy. And nija griha krityam, he doesn't have household chores. And vyasanitam, vyasanitam is no asakti, or vyasan is also does mean dukkha. Na ghoram, nodghurnam, na kilakadanam, vetti api. He doesn't have asthirata, he's stable. He doesn't have ghoram, like any terrifying, he doesn't have nightmares. He is anabhigya, he doesn't know all these things. And what he's doing, happily enjoying the pastimes with gopis and gopas and Mother Yashoda and all Dhanishta and Kundalata and so many bhid up there. So we worry, is he really concerned about us? It seems he forgets everything, right? When he's in the association of devotees. Doesn't it happen when Mother Yashoda went and started tying the Dam Bandhan? He forgot. And somebody who has not understanding of Supreme Personality of Godhead's nature would say, this is a fool's play going on. He does not. Because while at one instant he is mugdha. Mugdha means in soon, somewhere, right? Mugdha. We may get mugdhata when worldly situations come, but here is this personality who is mugdh in the association of devotees, but at the same time he is sarvagya. What? Sarvagya. He knows it. And that's our hope, that he's thinking about them and thinking about us also. He's interested in us, and hence, and also impressionable. The land, the area where we see to the maximum order is Vrindavan, Vrajadham, where everybody keeps running to. All roads lead to Vrindavan. All roads lead to Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is also a very special place because it exhibits qualities like Bhagwan. Bhagwan can exist at multiple places. He can be small, he can grow his size, he has siddhis. So Rupa Goswami says that in one of his very nice texts called Laghu Bhagavatamrit, it's available also now by BBT. He says that even dhams also has special quality. Evam prabho priyanam cha dhamnascha samayasya cha. Prabho, his dear devotees, and his dhams also have what? Avichintya prabhavatvat. They have avichintya. We cannot think about their prabhava. We can give example, right? It is described in the divine Vrindavan, Krishna and Radharani are in the middle. Hmm. And then there are first 8 gopis. Then there are 8 into 2, 16. Then there are 32. Then 256. Then 1 megabyte, 1 gigabyte. It goes on. So you may wonder, how do they fit? Or when Krishna is eating prasadam, maybe there is a picture here somewhere. The gopas are sitting. Oh, there are exabytes and exabytes of gopa friends. How do they fit? That is the avichintya shakti. Avichintya prabhavatvat atra kinchit na durghatam. Durghatam means nothing is impossible. So what happens? Krishna is going from Mathura, going to Mathura. From Mathura is going to Dwarka. And something which we elaborately expounded in Portland just a few days back, the swings of union and separation, he comes back. Within 3 months of leaving from Vrindavan to Mathura, he comes back. So we cannot have allegations against Krishna. Toku kachu yaad nahi hai. You don't remember anything. No, he remembers. He comes back. He meets them in Kurukshetra also. And then later, after killing Dantavakra, he goes and spends time with Brajvasis. But the question may arise, Krishna is going from Mathura, Vrindavan to Mathura, and then Mathura to Dwarka, and Dwarka to again Vrindavan or Kurukshetra. Beech mein kya hota hai? What happens in the middle? Because Krishna doesn't step outside Vrindavan, right? What happens? Is Baruch or Ratlam. What is Baruch and Ratlam doing in the middle? So it is explained that dhams also expand. As Krishna is walking, Vrindavan Dham is also expanding. From there, Dwarka Dham is also expanding. Hence, there is a step over. So Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan. That can only happen with Krishna's own place. And that is Sri Vrindavan Dham. And in this way, Lord plays hide and seek. He's interested and he's impressionable. Stories galore in Vrindavan lore that how this hide and seek is played to generate the interest and then entice the devotee, and the devotee then entices the Lord. So there was one Baba in Nandagram. Today we had nice Kunchris here. No, Kanhai and Balai. Kanhai and Balai. So there was a Kanhai and Balai fan in Nandagram. There are many such fans. There have been many such fans in Vrindavan. So this Baba Nandagram was worshipping, and nothing was happening. So he just told everybody, Krishna and Balram are really not interested. Best is to go to Barsana because she is more interested than him. So let's go to Barsana because that's why it's called Barsana, where Kripa boond boond mein nahi tapakti. From Krishna and Balram sometimes happens, nothing is coming out, but she is showering. So let's go to Barsana. And there was a big halla in the town. This person is leaving the deities and going to Barsana. His Holiness Shachinandan Swami Maharaj, in his book Living Names, writes this story. We've also read this in Vrindavan tradition. Now, this kind of trope or idea that somebody is worshipping Krishna and Balram or Radha Krishna and nothing is happening, they're going away, is very common. There was another Baba, his name was Gwariya Baba. What? Gwariya Baba. He would call Krishna as not Krishna, not Kanha, not Kanhai, but Yar. What? We know the word Yar. Yar. Well, there is Yarakuda in Tamil, but that's different, right? Any Tamil people? No. But Yarakuda means what in Tamil? With whom? So, but this Yar in Hindi is like thick, buddy, without it's out Langoti Yar, like that. There is a tradition behind that name. It is said, who are Sakha and who is Sakhi? who can exchange their clothes. They don't mind. So imagine you're staying in a brahmachari ashram and somebody says, "Hey, I'm taking your sandals. If I lose it, don't be angry." And the other one shouts, "Okay, okay, take it." That's what? Yar. Now the langotia are sandal yar, then it means langotia yar. They can exchange because samavayas, equal age, equal feelings, like that. So he would call yar. He was also worshipping Radha and Krishna and Balram. Nothing was happening. So he went even higher. What? He said, "I'm going." And he started spreading the rumor that these are useless lords. Krishna had to come. I can tolerate somebody taunting me, but this is too much. Spreading a news that I am good for nothing. So he came for Gwaria Baba and they both came for this Nandagram Baba also. First, he couldn't recognize. That's again Krishna. It's called Chadmavesh. What? Chadmavesh, which means Behrupiya. Acting in such a way you will not be able to recognize him. So he came and he's nicely talking. We are hungry. Who will serve who will serve us? We are just if you will go away, who will give us milk? He's telling, milk? What about milk? I mean, go and sit under the cow and directly do direct hit into your mouth. And then slowly and slowly, when he's touching their hand, he's realizing that he is Kanai and Balai. What will happen? He faints, they go away. Hide and seek again. And next day he wakes up, swooning in ecstasy. This land of the interested Lord and impressionable Lord is what our Srila Prabhupada wanted to give it to the whole world. Because how we can impress the Lord? By a service. How do we get service? By asking for service. And don't we ask for service every day in the morning by chanting? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But keep it on your lap. So we ask for it. And that's what Srila Prabhupada did. One of the senior Prabhupada disciples, if I'm not mistaken, is Jananivas Prabhu, said, imagine Prabhupada with bag of beads, chanting, 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 and walking throughout, doing the parikrama of the globe, and make this contemplation. He's walking with a bag of beads and pops a temple. Pops a temple here. Pops a farm community here. He's doing it 14 times or 12 times. But just he's a man of bag of beads. And 2 weeks later, we'll be celebrating that. I think 49th incorporation, 49th of 51, 66 it was done, 2025, so 49th, 59th. Incorporation of ISKCON in New York, July 18th. Potencies of this dham has also been viewed by Narottam Das Thakur, and he cannot stop but singing about it. We sing, right? Vrindavana Ramya Sthana. Oh, he's not done. After that, he goes again. And this is the song 1. I think we'll be singing some bhajans also. And Prabhu has shared perhaps. We can do like near neighborhood sharing, right? The yar sharing, we call it. कदम्ब तरुर डाल नामिया छे भूमे भाल फूटिया छे फूल शारी शारी कदम्ब तरुर डाल नामिया छे भूमे भाल फूटियाचे फूल सारी सारी kadamba tarur, keep playing, kadamb tarur dal, on the tehni dal of vraksh of kadamb. That's a site in Vrindavan. Kadam, its flowers are yellow color with some bristles on it, and it's Krishna, Radharani Krishna. Really like it. It's an emblem of Vrindavan. And what happens? But the Kadamba tree is bowing down. Namiya che bhume bhalo. It is bowing down to the earth. Phutiya che phula. There are flowers coming. परिमले भरलो शकल वृंदावन परिमले भरलो शकल वृंदावन केली कोरे भ्रमरा भ्रमरी केली कोरे भ्रमरा भ्रमरी Parimale, the fragrance is spreading in the Shakal Vrindavan. And Keli Kore, who is doing the Keli? Bhramar and Bhramari. Rae kanu vilase range. Rae kanu vilase rang. Who is Rai? Not the Rai we do in the Rai is, well, Nityanand Rai. Rai also means Radha, Kanu, Krishna. They are having their pastimes. Kiva Rupa Lavani Vedagadhi Khani Dhani Mani Mae Abharana Ange Kiva Rupa Lavani Khani dhani abharana ange. Now he's saying abharan. They're full of ornaments and they are so beautiful. Lavani. Lavanya is the beauty which just jumps. Like impossible in the material world because the afterworld it drowns. But in the material world, in spiritual, it jumps. Lavanya. And Vedagdi means, well, in style, class, they have a class. Today we saw Kanai Balai. Oh, they had such a class, right? Almost like bending in dance. Correct. Radhar dakshina kar dhari priya giridhar madhur madhur choli jay. Radhar dakshina kar dhari priya giridhar madhura madhura choli jay. They are walking madhur, madhur, sweetly. How? Radha Dakshina. Dakhin is right. So Krishna must be here. So Krishna is holding Radha's right hand through his left hand. Who is Krishna? Priya, his dearmost, and he is Giridhar. The same Giridhar who was holding the big Govardhan is now holding the Komal hands of Sri Radha. And are they alone? No. We have to practice chanting alone because we have to ride our own planes. But up there is crowd. Big bheed. Big crowd. Aage pache shakhi gana kore phula barishana kono shakhi chamar dhulaye. Aage pache shakhi gana kore phula barishana kono shakhi chamar dhulaye. Chamar dhulaye. sprinkling flowers. What else? परागे धूसर स्थल चंद्रे कोरे सुशीतल परागे चंद्रे कोरे सुशीतल मणिमय वेदिर उपरे मणिमय वेदिर उपरे. They are sitting on a manimay, a jewel bedecked, a vedi which is bedecked with jewels, and all around there is the aromatic pollen of the lotus, and it is cooling. It is made cooling by the shining of the moon. Chandre kore shushital. Then राय कानु कर जोड़ी नित्य कोरे फुरी फिरी पर से पुलके तनु भरे. राय कानु फिरी फिरी पर से पुलके तनु भरे. फिरी फिरी. They are turning round and round, and this way the author is singing the divine Vrindavan. The divine Vrindavan is also emitting the potency of the current Vrindavan, which is Bhaum Vrindavan, because the divine Vrindavan 5,000 years ago came out of the curtain of Yogmaya, and for 125 years it was available for the history to watch, and then it went back. But some items remained, like Govardhan, Chaurasi Khamba, Jamuna, Brajraj, and because of the presence of that, it is also Bhauma Vrindavan, which is 3 hours southwest, southeast of Delhi, is too divine. And so people run after that. They want to spend time. And in this seminar series, therefore, we want to understand who are those who are spending time in Vraj. Who's who in Vraj? Like people are interested about who's who in several circles, right? Sports circle, fashion circle, baseball circles. But we are talking about who's who in. Why do we need to do it? First, we are not living in silos. Are we living in silos? Are we living alone? No, we are interacting with Vaishnavas and devotees from all cadre, right? All parts of the world. And that interaction also increases the bliss, isn't it? यहाँ की चाट पकौड़ी, वहाँ की दाल बाटी. Some saint said that he worships both Ram and Krishna. How? दास रघुनाथ का नंद का सखा. दास रघुनाथ का, which I am the servant of Raghunath. नंद कौन है? नंद कृष्ण. नंद का सखा कुछ इधर भी रहा. I stayed for some time here. कुछ उधर भी रहा. I stayed here. So both advantage, both have laddu, chaat pakodi and dal bati, as or kachori or jalebi. So we are not living in silos. And secondly, we might have questions, or to those whom we are facilitating their journeys, they might have questions. What do we have in common? And what do we have as special? What do we have in common? And because we have to follow our Sampradaya, what do we have special? Isn't that a question? And sometimes we get doubts. Maybe we don't have, our chaat pakodi is not good. Or sometimes we may not be able to create bridges. So the first is we are not living in silos. Second, we might want to understand what's common and what's special. And third, might as well build bridges, because world needs bridges. While we all appreciate our existence in our rooms, we need spaces, but we need to also have bridges over those fences. Fences are good. But we are followers of borderless spirituality, right? It's a great question of borders these days. Some people are busy making borders, but we believe in borderless spirituality. We might have our own homes and rooms and areas, but how about we build a bridge? So with these three, we approach this seminar series. Who's who in Raj? Why we learn about it? The question comes, we whom do we approach to learn about a particular group or a sampradaya or a section, right? We are followers of Gaudiya Sampradaya, or some are we'll be talking about this, some are followers of Pushti Sampradaya, for instance. Whom do we approach to learn about them? Whom do we approach to learn about a particular system in which people are following a particular ritual, particular philosophy, particular upasana, which means worship? So there are always two pehlus, means two sides. First, there are what? Insiders. What? And the second is outsiders. What? Insiders and outsiders. Let's take outsiders. Outsiders to a particular tradition. These are the scholars who may want to study a particular tradition in a very scholarly way. They are distance removed from a particular tradition. But there is a problem. They can be too much removed from the tradition and the sympathy towards a particular tradition, isn't it? Because if they don't sympathize with the faith of the devotees of that particular tradition, they may become what? Suspicious. Dal kali nahi hai. Dal mein kuch kala nahi hai. Kali dal hai. Everything is. Do we all agree that the sthai bhav is used in a very loose sense here. Sthai bhav of the world is suspicion, doubt. And why should we be surprised when a particular bearded fellow came in 19th century and he was driven off from his country? He sat in England and wrote his thesis, which became the doctrine of suspicion, that everything is a facade in the world. Sports is a facade. What else is facade? What do we see outside? Politics. What else? Religion also, according to him. What else do we see? Entertainment. What else? Tourism. What else? Eating. What else? Medical system. सब facade. In Hindi में बकवास. By the way, Sanskrit word for bakwas is bakwad. So we are okay. So maybe sometime you can say, don't do bakwad. Who was this person? Karl Marx. Karl Marx was called the master of suspicion. He said everything is bakwad. Internally, there is always economic struggle. Somebody is struggling, somebody is making them struggle. Do a revolt. Well, what happened? His philosophy didn't pick up in political circles, but it has permeated. If he was master of suspicion, much of the world's people have become jacks of suspicion. Don't we doubt? Sometimes doubt devotees. Because things affect. The environment affects us. Acharyas explain, teachers explain that begin with a statement that devotees are not malicious. What? Devotees are not malicious. So don't doubt them. Or don't begin with the doubt to begin with, but jacks of suspicion. So if an outsider is approaching a tradition, he'll always suspect, right? What are these Imli Talaped? Who said they lived for 5,000 years? Suspicion, right? Who said deity is Krishna? Just stone. Suspicion. Outsiders, problem. Let's come to the second category, which is insiders. Like us for Gaudiya tradition, right? So insiders have faith and insiders have experienced things, so they can explain. But if insiders become too insiders in the sense of self-congratulatory, then there is an issue. instead of being little bit healthfully, if that's the word, critical, but I'm the best. One of the great stalwarts of our movement, Ravinder Sarup Prabhu, explains about what can happen in this situation. He very, I mean, this is almost comical, but it is so real that it needs to be highlighted. He says, when the insiders becomes too self-congratulatory or they go into that zone, their approach is also not good towards the tradition. They suffer from the first drawback, which is called instant liberation. No sooner we get a touch of a spiritual process, there is a tendency to think, আমি তো liberated, আমি তো pandit, हाँ हो गया छे, हो गया छे. Some may also call it PDS, pure devotee syndrome. Instant instant liberation. But there's a problem. There is no instant liberation, especially from kama, which is in general covetousness. There was a saint who had a dadi, and in his town there was a dancing lady who had a goat. The goat also had a dadi. You must have seen some goats have a nice flowing dadi, doesn't need maintenance. And every day she would ask the saint, whose dadi is real? My goat's or yours? This fellow never answered. He never answered. And when he was at the deathbed, he told his disciples, call that lady. Huh? I mean, you were so udasin. We know udasin? What Vaisheshika Prabhu says, tender, loving neglect. It's tender, it's not pushy, it's loving also, like that, and neglect. And now you want to give heed. So the lady comes and he said, you want to know who's daddy? It has grown also and it's totally real. Why did he say that? Because he was following the mantra of Vrindavan. Sadhu, savdhan. What? Sadhu, sadheva savdhan. He said, well, I should not be sure until it is the fight till the end. Prak sharira vimokshanat. First problem, instant liberation from calm. Second problem is overcompensation of one's lack of faith. What? Overcompensation of one's lack of faith. If the faith is lacking, what will the person do? Shout louder and hammer harder. Correct? Shout louder and hammer harder. Then it's such a gap, because if the Paramarth is elevated, if the Paramarth in the heart is elevated, the person would be soft, not hammer hard. Why hammer hard? Different people are in different situations of their lives. It may only indicate lack of faith. So there's a gap. How to compensate the gap? Hammer. Sometimes politicians do that quite well. Third issue. What was the first thing? Instant liberation. Second was overcompensation. By the way, there's one word for it. It's called fanaticism. Fanaticism is described as overcompensation of one's lack of faith. And third is, it's a technical word, but it's very interesting. It's called antinomianism. What? Antinomianism means we are beyond the rules. Ami to pandit, ami to liberated. So I can go and just take away all the roses in the bushes of my neighbor for my Thakurji. Hari bol. My neighbor's car is Krishna's car. Kyun? Bhoktaram, Jagya Tapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. But Krishna loves me. And the master's car is used by? So Krishna's car is my car. Hence, my neighbor's car is equal to my car. Hari bol, drive it. That's antinomianism. Anti-rules. But doesn't it happen, right? मंगला आरती जाना है, nobody is there. Red light, green light, yellow light, की फर्क पैंदा है? Red light, whichever light, let's cross it. Something to think about, because if the objective is Sat, Sat means Satya. The path better be Satya, right? If the objective is Satya, path cannot be Asatya. Then it is hypocrisy, no? And Asatya as an anartha cannot be compartmentalized, isn't it? Well, I do only Asatya with the police officers, but with the devotees I am Sat. Doesn't happen. It will spill over. So outsiders as the jacks of suspicion, insiders as the all this self-congratulatory, both fall short of explaining about the tradition. Correct. So what approach we should take? Because here we are approaching the different sampradayas, isn't it? So one can take the approach of an outsider who is open but relies compassionately on insider's explanation. What? An outsider who is objective but relies and gives full podium to the insider. Like if somebody approaches and says that, which Shastra says Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari? Narottam Das Thakur song says that. I mean, others may not believe it because they may say it's a Bengali Shastra, ye to tumhara hai. So we may feel bad. How about we approach Pushti Marg and somebody says Surdas is Uddhav? Who said that? Hmm? But here's where we give the benefit of doubt, or rather podium, to the insiders of the tradition that they know better. And in this way, our heart will remain soft. In fact, this is the way the Nitya Siddhas, who are the Nitya Siddhas up there in the spiritual world, who are enacting pastimes with Krishna and Radha, they come down in different sampradayas in different forms. Who is Lalita in our sampradaya, in Gaudiya sampradaya? Swarup Damodar Goswami. And Lalita, in one of the sampradayas, in the third session, we'll talk about storm of songs, is Swami Haridas, the one for whom Banke Bihari appeared. Same personality, because they can do it. Evam priyo priyanam cha dhamnascha. We just discussed, Rupa Goswami says, just like the Lord, Shakti is present in Lord's devotees also. They can come. So will we start fighting? No, no, no. Lalita is Swarup Damodar Goswami. They are saying, no, no, they are both. Because when we go to the spiritual world, it's the same Lalita. Or talk about Uddhav. Who is Uddhav in Gaudiya Sampradaya? Paramanand Puri. Correct? Paramanand Puri. And who is in Pushti Marg? Surdas. What's the problem? When we approach with that mentality, our heart stays protected. Undue suspicion does not come. And hence, aparadhas won't happen. Nobody's asking us to change our position, right? But can we give the full floor to others? Yes, we can. And with that, we'll make the difference. So, this is the approach we'll take. Outsider view with an insider's compassion, or giving the full podium to insider. And there has been in society some personality like this. Very near to ISKCON. How many of you been to ISKCON Vrindavan? ISKCON Vrindavan. There is an interesting place in front of Vrindavan Research Institute. How many of you been to Vrindavan Research Institute? You heard about it? In front of it, there is a famous place where I always used to hear a particular kind of kirtan. And this time when I logged into Sadhu Sangha, I heard this kind of tune playing. I always associate this tune with that particular place. How many of us went to Sadhu Sangha? I went virtually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. You recognize? This time Sadhu Sangha was a hit tune. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mostly renunciates stay there, and then the middle of the 20th century there was one Pandit Ramakrishna Baba. He was from Jaipur, Govind Dev temple. He was such a scholar, but such compassionate that Gaudiyas, Nimbarkis, even sometimes Advaitins would come to take Shiksha. So he had that compassion that, okay, I'm not increasing my party. You're already there in good party. You're already there in good Sampradaya. I'll not increase my party, but I'll inspire you in your own journey. Isn't that beautiful? Gaur Govind Maharaj, one of his friends was Fakir Mohan Prabhu. And Fakir Mohan Prabhu, I have heard from trusted sources, was invited by the Govardhan Mutt, if I'm not mistaken, or some Advaitin Mutt in Puri to teach them Shat Darshan. A Vaishnava has been invited. Won't we want some of the flowers in the bouquet of ISKCON to be like that, to give fragrance to everyone? And hopefully the whole flower be imbued with such fragrance. So we have such examples also. Are why to go far? Look at our Srila Prabhupada. So exactly 59 years ago, right? Roughly around that time, Prabhupada was making the journey to United States of America, maybe 60 years ago. And he landed first where? Butler, Boston, then he comes to Butler, Pennsylvania. And there he was acclimatizing himself to how Americans think, how. And Sally Agarwal said that Prabhupada was very, very fascinated by those, you put the coins into the fare slot, right, in the bus, because that was new to Prabhupada. Sikke dalla, putting the coins into the fare slot of buses. He was very much fascinated by laundry machines. At that time, India, it was not there. And frozen vegetables. No concept in India. And Prabhupada said goodbye to her and took this IAT from Butler to Port Authority Station, New York, because he wanted to go to New York. And Yogeshwar Prabhu, in his book Swami in Strange Land, describes that how Prabhupada's journey was one sensory assault after another. What? One sensory assault after another means first, he is greeted with freezing winds, ice scorching fumes, then glaring neon lights, doesn't happen in India. Then deafening traffic, and wait a minute, acrid smells of hot dogs. Imagine this Brajvasi is going in a bus, and of all the things, big billboards or whatever of highly sensuous content. One sensory assault after another. But he bears it, and he goes to stay with one Advaitin. You know the name? Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra. And he was called Uptown Yogi because he has hair nicely champooed, or not champooed, chumpy with, you know, Bajaj almond oil maybe. It was not there at that time. Some oil, some chumpy, and the slacks, and quite different from Prabhupada and flowing sannyasi robes. Prabhupada is determined about his mission, his practice, but look at the compassion. In Ramamurthy's Mishra's own words, I was famished. I was too lazy to cook. But this personality would cook. And oh, how much he cooked and what he cooked. He fed me, he brought me to health, good health. Why did Prabhupada do it? Nobody was recording, nobody was marketing. Speaks something about Prabhupada. But at the same time, when Ramamurthy ji, Mishra ji would talk about all sorts of things and look at Prabhupada and said, Swami ji, Kirtan, only 15 minutes, huh? Like time, you have to. And they say when Prabhupada started Kirtan, he would forget. Ramamurthy Mishra's own words. I have never seen a Swami sing so much. What he says, I have never seen or met any devotee who sang too much, and his Kirtan was just ambrosial. If you pay attention, became relaxed, then the vibrations, you felt the vibrations on the heart. So here is Prabhupada in living with an Advaitin. And outside, he's feeling what? Separation. He goes out and sits on a bench, and a conductor comes and he asks him, I am a subway conductor. What's your situation? Who is asking? Prabhupada is sitting on the bench. Nothing is happening. His books are not getting sold. There's not much traction. And here he's staying with some impersonalist who is singing his own song and giving only some time for Prabhupada to sing his own song. And what happens? Some conductor comes and says, what's your situation? I'm a subway conductor. And what does Prabhupada say? Well, there are temples and books. They are existing. Time only is separating us from them. So while being too focused, yet too compassionate. Isn't that an example close to our home? Following our niyama and our sampradaya, our own thing, like the lines on a stone, doesn't make us hit other with a stone, correct? And that's why we are entering today and in these 3-4 sessions. The next session will be about the South Indian connection of Vrindavan, and it will be an ode to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Hari Bol. The third session will about a storm of songs in which we talk about how there was a bhakti movement and just people came from all over. And last will be the unified framework from Jiva Goswami's Krishna Sandarbha, in which we can understand how there is commonality and how what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us is really unique. I mean, it's a Rashagulla. Today, we'll just briefly touch upon 4 Sampradayas, because those are the traditional Sampradayas and they too have touched Vrindavan. We know about them. First is Sri Sampradaya. Well, there is no first, second, third, fourth. Sri Sampradaya. It is the instruction given by Krishna or Vishnu to Lakshmi ji. Sampradaya means Guru Paramparanu-gata Sadupadeshaha. The Upadesha, good instructions which we get from Parampara, from a teacher who had been a good student, who had been a good student, who had been a good student, like that. All the way connecting up to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So traditionally, let's like, if we can take some partiality to the schools which we have been connected earlier, Stanford, Berkeley, MIT, and Princeton are the best, assuming. Harvard has fallen from grace anyway. So, oh, sorry, Purdue is also there. So let's kick out Princeton, Purdue. So you're in Purdue, right? Okay, that's why. So four major, good track record, 4 of these sampradayas. And we know sampradaya vihina ye mantras te nishphala mataha. If the mantras are passed without a good teacher student, it doesn't make sense. That's why we go to good colleges, because we know the pedigree of the teachers. So here there are these 4 major sampradayas, Vaishnav sampradayas, which all stem from Sri Krishna. First is Sri, Lakshmi. Instructions are given to Lakshmi. And then one main acharya comes in the whole movement, which just makes the Siddhanta readily accessible. Who is that? Ramanujacharya, Sri Sampradaya. Then there is another sampradaya in which Krishna gives the instructions to Sanat Kumar. And who is the acharya which comes there? Like the main teacher in that school? Hmm? Nimbarkacharya. So it is also called Nimbark Sampradaya. Kumar Sampradaya or Nimbark Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya or Ramanuj Sampradaya. Also the Sampradaya is named after the main teacher. Then comes Brahmaji. And who is the main acharya? Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya. This Sampradaya is called Madhva Sampradaya or Brahma Sampradaya. Last is Rudra Bhagwan Shivji. Who comes there? Vishnu Swami. So it's called Vishnu Swami Sampradaya or Rudra Sampradaya. Now all of them have connections to Vrindavan. Most of them. Of course, we'll not go into the philosophy of them because it's technical, but more or less they have similar accent. Accent means bent. That Jeev is the servant of Ishwar and there is some kind of a bheda. Vaisheshika Prabhu says, right? There is one God and we are not him. He repeats that, right? So, yes, almost all the sampradayas. Now, Madhva Siddhant is like this. Two. There's always a difference, always a bheda. But other sampradayas have like achintya relation, which means it is difference also and union. It means similarity also, just like a fire spark with the fire. The fire spark is called Spuling, Agni. So the fire spark is same as Agni, but different from Agni. Agni, you can't cook with the fire spark. You can light an Agni with a fire spark, but you have to cook using the Agni. So while Madhva Siddhant is full-on difference, other Siddhantas of Nimbarkacharya, Ramanujacharya, and what? Vishnu Swami is different. More or less, we can elaborate, but the time is less. I was given 8:30. It's just 3 minutes remaining. We started at 7:30. Or where Prabhu can, if he can. अच्छा, आपके पास है कमान आज? Okay, I won't go too long, but since we began 7:30, maybe till 8:45, is that okay? Because we have to sing songs also. And they are coming. I am making the Bhumika. Glorious is the name Bhumika. Because, so Nimbark Sampradaya, then Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and Brahma Sampradaya, and Sri Sampradaya. Now, how do they exist in Vrindavan? Ramanujas are there. If you go to the older part of the Vrindavan, what's the topic? Who's who? So where are they? Govind Dev used to be the downtown earlier. Now it is Baki Bihari. Oh no, it is shifting to Prem Mandir and ISKCON. Oh sorry, Loi Bazaar is the downtown for some. So there is a tradition of Ashtayam, right? Eightfold pastimes. So sometimes devotees make the joke. You follow the Ashtayam in temple or not, but we'll do Ashtayam in Loi Bazaar at least. At least go 8 times. So the downtown used to be Govind Dev Temple, and near Govind Dev Temple, there are a lot of establishments of Ramanuja Sampradaya. The main temple is Rangaji Temple, which is almost a small facsimile copy of the Ranganath Temple. After Ramanujacharya, one more Acharya came in this line called Ramanandacharya. Who? Ramanandacharya. He made it go through. He expanded the Sampradaya, and they are mostly in the North India. Many of them are also called Bhakta Malis. What? Bhakta Malis. Because they believe on a Grantha called Bhakta Mal. Mal means garland. Bhakta means devotee. So garland of devotees. And it was the Granth which Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur kept as a subsidiary reading in Bhakti Shastri exam. Bhakta Mal. It was written by a Ramanandi, but commented by a Gaudiya. So here you see the handshake. The Ramanandis are the worshippers of Lord Ram, Siya, Hanuman. If you go on that other side, near the Govind Dev, you will be feeling like I am in Ayodhya. Because you'll find Hanuman Gadi. Hanuman Gadi is the entry to Ayodhya. First you salute Hanumanji, then go to Ramji. So there is an Ayodhya in Vrindavan. When Tulsidas came, he saw the darshan of Radha Krishna. He said, I will not bow down unless you take bow and arrow. So Krishna was made to take bow and arrow. And this is a place right there called Krishna Bhaye Raghunath. Krishna became Raghunath. So there is Ramanandi presence, and many of the acharyas in this line, by the way, they wear the tilak white. Of course, there are different versions, just like we have in ISKCON, cream or the white or the black or the different like colors and different shapes and sizes like that. So they have this tilaka with the red mark in the middle, sometimes yellow, and the common granth which we'll see as you go in Braj, which they recite is Bhaktamal. Just like there are Ramayanis or Bhagavatas, you study Bhagavatam maybe, this is Bhaktamali. So this is the presence of Ramanuja Sampradaya in Vrindavan, mostly as Ramanandis. Madhvas are less, but Nimbarkis are a lot. In fact, there is one song of the Nimbarkis which we sing very much. You know that song? Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri. Together, next line. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna, Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Many of the tilaka is goes straight, 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 keeps going, and then turns around and then goes up. So there is no tulsi here. This goes like that. We find them a lot because it is said that perhaps the earlier forms of Jugal Upasana, the Upasana of Radha Krishna together, were in Nimbark Sampradaya. And people have comparatively studied Gaudiya and Nimbark literature, and they say that they're very close. Because Nimbark Acharya said the philosophy is Swabhavika, what? Swabhavika Bhed Abhed. What? Bhed Abhed. Which means Jiva is tiny, but is of the same nature as Krishna. So there is a Bhed and Abhed, but Swabhavik. In the sense you find both the terms in Vedas. Bhed Vakyas and Abhed Vakyas. He said, consider them equally. What? Consider them equally. So it is swabhavik, natural. But the question came, how? So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the Madhva Sampradaya and he said it is achintya bheda bhed. It's one and difference due to the power of Sri Krishna. We find Nimbarkis in the form of Kathiawar Babajis who wear call it a donut. It's a wooden donut around their waist as a tapasya, as their loincloth. And we have acharyas such as Radha Brajesh Sharan Devacharya Maharaj, another acharya who thought, hey, Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas is so famous in North India because people can relate, right? Like Hanuman Chalisa, it is called the Nani Ma of all Chalisas. Hi, and people have memorized it, isn't it? So why don't write Bhagavatam in the form of Tulsi Ramcharitmanas, like Braj Bhasha? So he wrote it, the entire Bhagavatam, on Nimbarki. So Madhva, Nimbarkacharya, Nimbark Sampradaya is done, Sri Sampradaya is done. What is left? Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And the Acharya who came down in the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya is Vallabhacharya, Pushti Marg. They are less in Vrindavan, but their gad or the area is Govardhan or Jatipura, like we are there in Vrindavan. However, all of them have common goal. Jatipura, Govardhan and Gokul. Jatipura and Govardhan and Gokul. Their common goal is Sri Krishna. So with whatever rules, we have these mudras and tantras and pujas, they may be coming from different parts, especially Sri Sampradaya. Now there are a lot of rules, But while coming to Vrindavan, it's a very Madhur Bhav and kind of unites. And this Madhur Bhav was indicated by Narad Muni also. He is coming with his friend and going to Nanda Baba's Paudi, Nanda Baba's Angan, and he's laughing and crying. People say, why are you crying? Why are you laughing? He said, I'm laughing that this Nanha Krishna is crawling and is unable to get, you have in homes the child rails, you call it, what do you call it? But the kids do not cross it. So Krishna tries to cross that thing and he is hanging by his tummy. Kids sometimes. So he's laughing. Look at the Brahma and Brahma latak raha hai. The Brahma is swinging helplessly. So why are you crying? Because those who have gotten the Brahma liberation cannot see the Brahma latking or cannot see the Brahma swinging. This is also explained in Padyavali. Shrutima pare, smriti mitare, bharatam bhajantu bhavabhitah. People are so afraid of the world that they are worshipping Mahabharat or Shruti or Smriti. Aham tu Nandam vande. I worship Nanda Maharaj. Yasya linde param brahma. In whose courtyard? Brahma latak raha hai. This latakne wala doesn't become evident from this shloka, right? So Brajvasis are Brajvasis. They made a Brajvasi geet about it. प्रेम नदिया की सदा उल्टी बहे धार 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 कौन पावे जाको पार कौन पावे जाको पार कौन पावे जाको पार कौन पावे कौन पावे who can cross it this nadi because it's just like so complicated. Why it is complicated? तीन पैर भूमि याने बलि लियो छल तीन पैर भूमि याने बलि लियो three pair means foot and chal means deceit. To whom? Bali Maharaj. तीन पैर जाने he who tricked Bali. But what's happening to that fellow? चौखट न लांघी जाए रयो सो मचल चौखट न लांघी जाए रयो सो मचल. This machal is a very significant word here. Machal means anxious. He's trying to cross the chaukhut parapet and he's hanging by the tummy and he's machaling. He is anxious. But another contradiction, the next line. जाने खंबा दियो फाड़ जाने खंबा दियो फाड़ जाने खंबा दियो फाड़ जाने खंबा दी. What is khamba? Pillar. Jane who? Fad means surgery. So who did the surgery of the pillar? That same fellow who is Nrsingadev, that same fellow who tricked Bali Maharaj is unable to cross. प्रेम नदिया की सदा उल्टी बहे धार प्रेम नदिया की सदा उल्टी बहे धार. Now Brajvasis and the Braj poets were not satisfied with this hanging. So Krishna revealed to them another pastime. These songs are not like Facebook. 20K followers, I want that. Let's write a song. No, ChatGPT. Doesn't happen. These were the acharyas who were revealed the pastimes, then are singing about it. So This is before the Namkarana ceremony of Krishna. Krishna was named Krishna, but before that, what was his name? Latkan. Maya Yashoda named him Latkan. And she is like happy seeing his swinging pastimes because he's trying to swing, but he is just hanging. So she's saying, oh, I am. In Hindi, we say, hum fida ho gaye. I am mesmerized at your swinging pastimes. So she is singing, वारी मेरे लटकन पग धरो छतिया वारी मेरे लटकन पग धरो छतिया वारी means बलिहारी जाऊं मेरे लटकन my लटकन but you are hanging and swinging you should put your feet somewhere like landing so land on my chest pag leg dharo put on my chest वारी मेरे लटकन पग दरो छतिया वारी में लटकन पग धरो छतिया कमल नयन बलि जाऊं वदन की कमल नयन बलि जाऊं you are Kamal Nayan, which means lotus eyes. And again, Bali Jaun, your face. Beautiful face. And if you have seen the face of Radha Raman in Vrindavan, something you see, and sometimes you see, sometimes you don't see. Any guesses? Teeth. She's seeing today. शोभित नैनी दूध की द्वैदतिया शोभित नैनी दूध की द्वैदति दतिया means teeth do two and nanni means little we see it sometimes in Radha Raman and now Krishna starts crying because he's hanging imagine we are put on a tummy and like this. So he's crying and Mother Yashoda figures out a trick. Now mothers figure out a lot of tricks, correct? Like my brother has also figured out a trick to have my niece eat food. Because when they are put on this chair to eat food, something happens and some ghost comes and then they are not able to eat. They throw everything. So they did all breadth first and depth first search of items available. So they figured out an interesting song which is becoming very common. Maybe I can tell you later on. It's a Vrindavan bhajan. Karke ishara batai gayi re. Okay, that's enough. It's about a new song. And the moment this song is played, she gets into the zone. And the mother gets into the zone and puts direct hit. So here, Yashoda Maiya is figuring out some strategy. Like I was there and I saw many, many ducks in the restroom. So I figured out maybe for kachori, little kushori, little ducks. So she's figuring out strategy and she's figured out a strategy. Maybe the mothers who are becoming grandmothers can use it or it will be a good strategy. So what she's telling, let's count the cows with your little fingers. यह मेरी यह तेरी यह बाबा नंद जू की यह मेरी यह तेरी यह बाबा नंद जू Krishna, guy number 1 yours, guy number 2 mine, guy number 3 Baba Nand Ju ki. She is using the 3 fingers. यह बलभद्र भैया जी की भद्र भैया जी की. Now she forgot 5th finger should also be there. So Paroksha Deva hi Priya. She uses the indirect reference to him, herself. यह ताकि जो झूलावे तेरो पलना यह ताकि जो झूलावे tero palna. Fifth one belongs to the one who is rocking your Yashoda. So bhujho to jane. There we used to have a cutting in the childhood, right? Paheli, puzzles. In Sanskrit, call it sa janati, yo janati sa panditaha. Then she says, ihate chali khur khat pivat jal parihar rudan haso mere lalna. These cows are going pivat, drinking water, and khur, eating the grass. Parihar rudan, leave your crying. Haso mere lalna. This Krishna forms the common, the Madhur Krishna, the interested Krishna, the impressionable Krishna in Vrindavan forms the connecting ground of all the Sampradayas. Are what to tell about four Sampradayas? Even Advaitins, they come in Vrindavan, they become the drool over Krishna. In fact, our own Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya has written in his Vishnu Shatpadi that you are Tava aham, I am yours, but you cannot be mine. Na mama kinastvam. Why? Because the tarang belongs to the samudra, but the samudra does not belong to tarang. That's Vaishnava philosophy. Samudra hi tarangaha, kvachana samudro na tarangaha. That's Vaishnava philosophy. And so many devotees from Advaitin Sampradayas have also come to Vrindavan and became what? Mad after Krishna. Nobody stays sane after they come to Vrindavan. And this connects us. So with that, we are concluding that the lessons here are that we do not have monopoly towards Krishna, correct? No monopoly, right? Not all the paths lead to Krishna, but many paths can lead to Krishna, isn't it? And in the global world, when we have to situate ourselves in a socio-religious context, cooperation is required. So in Vrindavan, people get connected through the Krishna is the one Madhur, interested and impressionable God. But there is one more personality which connects everybody else even more. Sri Radha. That's why in Vrindavan everybody comes and just it becomes what? Radhe Radhe. There is no honking. It's all Radhe Radhe. If you scream at somebody, and our Vipralambha Acharya, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, in the mood of Raghunath Das Goswami, who was He Radhe Braj Devike Chalalite, He Nanda Suna Kutah, finding Sri Radha here and there, he composed a Bengali song, which I think spills over all the Sampradayas. If Krishna unites all the Sampradayas, Radha unites them even further. That's what we see in Vrindavan. Whether it is Ramanuji or Nimbarki or Gaudiya, it's their whole devotional life is an ode to whom? Radha. What do we chant? Hare Krishna. Elongate that Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. That's Sri Radha. So, with this last song, we end. And we can take this back with us that how there is a need to build bridges to understand what is common, and then eventually we'll also see what we have in special. Kothai go premamai Radhe Radhe. Kothai go premamai Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe go. Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe go. Radhe Radhe. Kothai, where have you gone? Where have you gone? देखा दिए प्राण राख राधे राधे देखा दिए प्राण राख राधे তোমার কাঙ্গাল তোমায় ডাকে রাধে রাধে তোমার কাঙ্গাল তোমায় ডাকে রাধে রা I am a wretched beggar. This is in the mood of Raghunath Das Goswami. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is singing Dake calling. I'm calling Tomar Kangal, Tomai Dake, Radhe, Radhe. And who is Radharani? Radhe Vrindavan Vilasini Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Vrindavan Vilasini Radhe. She is Vrindavaneshwari. And she even entices Kanha, Krishna. राधे कानु मन मोहिनी राधे 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 कानु मन मोहिनी राधे अष्ट सखीर शिरोमणि राधे वृषभानु नंदिनी राधे अष्ट सखीर शिरोमणि राधे वृषभानु नंद नियम करे सदाई डाके राधे राधे नियमे करे सदाई डाके Niyam kore. Raghunath Das Goswami follows his niyam very religiously, like lines on the stone, but Sadai always dake, calling out. Where all he's calling out? एक बार डाके केशी घाटे आबार डाके वंशी वटे एक बार डाके केशी घाटे आबार डाके वंशी वटे एक बार डाके निधुवने आबार डाके कुंजवने then Radha Kund, then Shama Kund, then Kusumvan, then Govardhan, then Talvan, then Tamalvan, where all he's just singing and singing. Mukhe Radha Radha bole, bhase nayanera jale, Mukhe Radha Radha भासे नयनेर जले वृंदावने कुली कुली के दे बेडाय वृंदावन कुली कुली in all the kunjas. Then it says chappan danda ratri dine, all the time. He cannot live without knowing Radha Govind, and he's sleeping very little, but Swapne Radha Govind dekhe Radhe 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Apologies, 8:45 became 8:54. Thank you for your kind attention. And Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu can orchestrate. We should break. I'm available for question and answers. How do you say? Those who have to take prasadam and leave can. Yes, Prabhuji, you are the headmaster here. Huh? 5-minute question. Yes, question, comments, reflections, songs. Hare Krishna. Of their tradition, yeah. Hmm. Good question. Giving the podium to insight is only in the sense of explanation. We are not buying it, right? That's why we are keeping our what? Of outsider's view, which is keeping an objective understanding. If I am eating kachori and then there was a aloo ki sabji and somebody gives chutney, that's good. But then if there's something else, maybe then we have to keep then we have to be objective about it, but at least we can have them explain their faith and understanding. It's only for the knowing, right? We are happy with the Roop Raghunath's kitchen, as they say. Our kitchen, prasad, whichever is somebody following, their main course is coming from that kitchen. But chutney, if it is there, okay. But still keeping an outsider's objective view. Does that answer the question? Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. It will take some time for me to explain, and we can take it offline. Ramakrishna Paramhams was a saint, and then he had his approach to divinity, and one of his stalwart disciple was Swami Vivekananda, who came to US like that. We can take it in person because the whole. I can also recommend you books you can read about and figure out. Yeah, okay. But there is one Ramakrishna mission in Vrindavan, which is pretty much the best hospital in Vrindavan. Yeah, so they do a lot of Samaj Seva as well, and one of their expressions of devotion and spirituality is Seva. So there are many sannyasis or doctors in Ramakrishna mission. So next time you're in Vrindavan and sick, you know the place to go. I mean, materially sick. Like that. Okay, I can share some books. Yes, thank you. Does that help a little? Thank you. Yes, Govinda Prabhu. Yes. Yeah. No, there is a lot of Madhurya Bhav also. Govardhan ki rahiye tarheti. There's a lot of Madhurya Bhav. You see, Ashtachap Kavis, they wrote about Madhurya also. And we can perhaps say that Vallabhacharya's son Vithalanathji was instrumental in kind of having the, yeah. So it's there. Surdas' songs are also there in Madhurya Bhav. Yes. Krishna not leaving Vrindavan. Yes. Okay. Ah. ah. But he's the same Krishna. Just he's having a different bhav. It's not like there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Krishna. Same Krishna is in our heart also. Same Krishna is in your heart. So that Krishna has a different abhiman. And that's why, but with the abhiman, everything changes, right? Whole rasa changes. So Krishna is in Vrindavan till 11 years, 10 or 11 years. He's there physically in the Prakat Vrindavan. And what happens after that? Krishna is always there in Aprakat Vrindavan. Aprakat Vrindavan is the Vrindavan behind the curtain. He's always there. And that's one reason why Acharya says he does not leave Vrindavan. He doesn't leave Aprakat Vrindavan. Prakat Vrindavan, he leaves. That is called Pravas. He goes to Mathura. And I mean, he's there in Aprakat Vrindavan all the time. And he's the same Krishna. It's not like, Mathura Nath Krishna. Yeah. Oh, yes. That was a 6-part seminar series in Portland. It's very intricate. Sometimes, so Krishna was coming there as in person. He came after 3 months. Letters were coming also. Krishna would also come as Tasam Avira Bhut Chauri Smayamana Mukhambuja. He would also come as Avirbhav. And while they are in the prakat, they were also experiencing union in the aprakat. But they would then forget that Krishna has left. And they will come in the prakata, they will think that was a dream. So it's very intricate. So we have to unpack it very. So it took 6 sessions to do it. Yeah. And Shivram Goswami Maharaj in his book Krishna Sangati has really elaborated it. Yes. Does it help you? Okay. Yeah. So they were feeling separation also, but they were also feeling a union with the aprakata, like that. And whatever they were feeling in the prakata was only enhancing. You know, categories are given about the different forms of separation, then union comes. It's an intricate topic. Okay. More questions? What they're still there in the Vrindavan. I mean, they will still be under the purview of that particular dham. It's not that they go away. So, for instance, dham expands and Nandgaon to Barsana becomes short, right? So there they go from Nandgaon to Barsana quickly. But the dham expands, and then Krishna in the Prakat Mathura then goes, Prakat Vrindavan goes to Prakat Mathura. Brijvasis don't go. They don't want to leave Vrindavan because they would like to worship Krishna in that mode. They love dham. And so sometimes Vrindavan, the poets have chided Krishna, ki you left, but Sri Radha didn't leave. Does it help you? Thank you. Okay, we have time. Hare Krishna. Yes, 100 years. That's in Garga Samhita, chapter 2, I think 20s, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a big, very big Leela. Maybe Viraja river is there. It's also Swakiya Leela, in which Radharani, Krishna was somebody else, and then cursing, counter cursing happens. Sri Dama curses and Radharani curses and things like that, only to enhance the mood of the Prakata pastimes. And as a result of this, 100 years, after 100 years, it is said that, again it's in Garga Samhita, that the gopis travel to a place called Siddha Ashram in Dwarka, and where Krishna also comes and they meet because the 100 years have elapsed. So you can keep it with that. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Happy to be. Mhm. Ah, It's bouncer question. I do not know. I have no realizations. But that's what it is written. Syat Krishna Nam Charitadi पित्तोपतप्त नरसनस्य रोचिकानो और तन्नाम रूप चरितादि सुकीर्तनानुतन. That's a general progression is given. I heard once Vaisheshika Prabhu saying Naam is like a zip file. You click on it and boom, all the files come. Because it has the potency. I mean, it's ontologically like that. Ontologically means hai. Abhinnatvat naam namino. Naam, chaitan, naam, Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So it is non-different. Non-different means it has everything what Krishna has it. Leela, Madhuri, Prem Madhuri, everything. And the Gun, then Leela, then also Parikar. Parikar means associates will also be revealed. Then what's our position in the Parikar? Then what's our Seva in the Parikar? So Naam, Gun, Leela, Dham, Parikar, our position in the parikar, our seva in the parikar. So it kind of, that's why our line, Bhakti, Vinod Thakur Bhakti Siddhanta, like that line, actually coming from Goswamis, is focusing on the gradual revelation through holy name. It is written in scripture that there were two paths, Antar Bahihi Panta, Anta Panta, given to Vakreshwar Pandit and given to Raghunath Das Goswami. The other Pantha is explicit, giving the like explicitly meditating on Dham and the Parshadas and things like that, which is there in Gaur Govinda Archana Smarana Paddhati. But the path which is bequeathed to us by our acharyas is Mana Shiksha of Raghunath Das Goswami, gradually, intensely purifying our hearts, taking full shelter of holy name, and that will do all the magic. Does that help you? Thank you. Okay? Yes. Well, it's metaphorical in the sense you don't, but find a commonality. Like you have your room, your other person has a room, but you can build a bridge that he is a soul, you two are a soul. So this is the bridge of understanding. Hare Krishna. We end here. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Yes, if you are interested in some chutney, you can try out. There are two types of chutney. And the recent chutney is a historical novel about Vrindavan, 16th century Vrindavan, how Goswamis and the Rajputs and the Mughals collaborated, war, romance, intrigue, and finally came out the skyline of Vrindavan as Madan Mohan, Govind Dev, like that. So it has historical characters, fictional characters, but history has not been tempered with. It's an exact history. If you're interested, I'll be happy that I served you some chutney because main course is Srila Prabhupada books. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.